I'd like to thank you for coming to today's rally, and I wish to thank several individuals by name. First, our Mayor, Tony Santos, and City Manager, John Germanis, for expediting the approval of today's permit. Second, our speakers and participants each showed a great willingness to come forward despite their busy schedule and despite truly the last-minute notice of the rally. This was all put together just within a week-and-a-half period. I'd also like to thank Tim Holmes, who's the owner of Zocalo Coffee House, for allowing us the use of his PA system. And Yvonne Day, who designed the very attractive flyer that we created for the rally to help get the information out. I'd also like to thank Earl and Charlene Carrot for setting up the equipment and helping me run and promote today's rally. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge the elected officials that are here today who are not participating in the rally, but we thank them for their presence. First, Ray Davis and Mike Katz from our San Leandro School Board, our hardworking San Leandro School Board. Michael Gregory is here from the City Council. And we have Rocky Fernandez from our AC Transit Commission. Our president stated, "It became clear that if we were prepared to stay the course, we could help lay the cornerstone for a diverse and independent region. If we faltered, the forces of chaos would scent victory, and decades of strife and aggression would stretch endlessly before us. The choice was clear. We would stay the course, and we shall stay the course." That was not George Bush speaking. It was Lyndon Johnson 40 years ago, and right before he sent an additional 100,000 troops to Vietnam. The quote captures in a nutshell why we are here. No president, Republican or Democrat, is infallible. When the president is wrong and the lives of Americans are at stake, it is incumbent upon the people in each community to step forward and voice their opposition. Today, we gather in San Leandro to call upon our government to bring our troops home from Iraq. They have accomplished the mission they were sent to fight. Saddam was removed from power, no weapons of mass destruction were found, a new constitution was written, and free and fair elections were conducted under the Constitution. If large numbers of Iraqis wish to resolve their differences in the street with bullets instead of in Parliament by casting votes, there's nothing we can do to stop them. Our troops are faced with an impossible task. They have become the target of all sides in a civil war. It is time to bring our troops home from Iraq. We also gather to acknowledge the sacrifice made by our men and women in uniform. Over 3,000 American soldiers have died, and thousands have been wounded in Iraq. Many of the wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan have suffered traumatic brain injuries, rendering them permanently disabled and in need of medical care and therapy for the remainder of their lives. We wish to acknowledge their sacrifice and support them by raising funds for the National Brain Injury Resource Foundation. The foundation assists victims of traumatic brain injury and funds research to improve their care. Please give whatever donation you can, and the table for donations is to my left. We also recognize the terrible price the people of Iraq have paid as sectarian violence has forced hundreds of thousands to leave their homes and become refugees in their own nation or flee to neighboring nations. It is estimated that almost 23,000 Iraqi civilians last year died as a result of the violence. Finally, let us acknowledge why this day was chosen for the peace rally. Martin Luther King was one of the greatest Americans in our nation's history. Without ever holding political office, he profoundly changed our society. Martin Luther King was also a victim of violence. Please keep him and his message of peaceful social change and civil rights for all in your thoughts. The rally will include a ringing of a bell to mark the American troops and Iraqis have died, as well as speeches from our Mayor, Tony Santos, Supervisor Alisai Bicker, Vice Mayor Serlene Grant, a statement from Congressman Pete Stark, and our featured speaker is pastor and writer Byron Williams. First, we will start with an invocation by Reverend Kathy Huff, San Leandro resident and minister at the First Unitarian Church of Oakland. Mr. Huff.